All right, to set up our Facebook ads, it's way easier to do it through Symprosys rather than doing it manually as far as creating a new pixel, catalog, ID, and everything. So what I recommend, first of all, making sure after the Bing, after we did Bing, make sure that everything is connected here. Pinterest, you have to verify your account there first. And with Facebook, go ahead and connect everything. And then once you do, it'll bring you out to this page under your ad account. It's adsmanager.facebook.com if you need the link. But after you go through these steps, it'll pull you here. And you want to add a payment method, you can skip that step. You have to add a payment method before you run ads, confirm your Facebook page, and verify your email. And then you're going to go ahead and hit continue. And then we're going to click sales. Let's see. We're going to do... I actually don't mind this. Let's do advantage shopping campaign. I gotta double check. Yeah. This is honestly what I've seen to work the best. Let me just take a second and take a quick look real quick. Yeah, I just checked versus manual. I don't mind this. I found that on Facebook, I just gotta make sure that we can do audiences here. Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh, that's not gonna work. This is if we're running just a direct campaign. Yeah, that's not gonna work for us. Okay, so we have to do a manual one. Let me X out. So you can just go to that advantage one that you have there and just delete it. We're not going to be using that. Where's the option to delete? Here. And then I'll just do it as if it's brand new. So then you just go, this is just, in case you were at that first page, just go to campaigns. Make sure you're on the right account, which was set up through Symprosys. Hit create. We're going to do sales. Manual setup. Okay, auction, use a catalog, remarketing. Good. This is like just your budget. We only have one campaign, it's absolutely fine. I'll probably just leave that off. Alright, here. So we're gonna maximize, we're gonna go after a number of conversions, purchases, and then just leave this blank for now. All products, daily budget. I put this probably at like 20 bucks usually, but I don't even spend that most of the time. You'll see why. And then retarget. So we're looking at just retargeting. So over the last 90, I think 120 is the max. Whatever the max is, not 100% sure. Visited and added to cart. Oh, maybe we can just click up the most. I think 120, but it won't let you go forward, so I'm just going to try that. And we can exclude customers. If that's in here anywhere. Yes, it's brand new. We don't have that set up in Facebook. It's absolutely fine. It's a really small demographic. Oh, here. It's showing Thailand. What is that? So make sure this shows United States. And then Hawaii and Alaska, same thing. All genders, placements, this is all good. The key thing here is this ad is for retargeting. So we're going to have all that traffic which comes to your page, and especially when they add to cart or go to your website. And then when they're on Facebook, we're going to get them even there, or on Instagram. So that's the point of the Facebook ad. We really want to target, if we do a general shopping ad, we don't have the functionality like we do in Bing or Google of determining how much we're paying per click or which products or tiering it out. Facebook doesn't have that functionality. Instead, what we do is we start with a retargeting campaign, and then later we add in a lookalike campaign, which is 1% of, which I'll get into that later, but for now, let's just go ahead and finish this one here. So we're just going to run to people, and now in this case, this is where you're going to have to do a few things. So you want to use your Facebook page. You want to make sure the product feed here is showing from a different account. So you want to have to make sure that's all correct. So you have to make sure for here, just add in whatever promotional or creatives you can. But what I would recommend, this is all up to you. This is a really good advantage or opportunity to use ChatGPT. You can identify your free shipping offer. There's lots of different promos that you can put as you fill out this creative section. What I'd recommend doing at minimum is just going through all of these and getting them all optimized. All these algorithms, they all want you to input in certain data in order for the algorithm to best, serve you really and serve the customer. So to make that match. So make sure you input all of these with all the different data you can. Click on this. We want to set up events tracking, offline events. You can just set these up and then go through everything and then hit publish. At that point, the ad will start running. It's a retargeting ad. Later, you can test a different variation of this if you're more advanced and you want to, instead of going for the cost per acquisition style of bidding, you can do more of a manual CPC style of bidding. What I've seen is just on Facebook specifically, based on their algorithm and their modeling, I've just found the CPA bidding strategy to work really well as I displayed here. If you're a more advanced user and you'd like to try different, try to clone this campaign and use a different bid setting, you could try that. I've seen it work, could work well, but I just found the CPA to work the best, the bidding model as I showed up here. Then, when it comes to lookalike, so I'm going to go ahead and X out of this one. You'd hit publish. But later what we'll do is we'll create another sales campaign, and when we'll have an audience created. So this is something later on after you've had 20 to 30 sales. You can go here under audiences, and we can set that up, and we can set up a lookalike audience. It's not something you have to do now because this is once you've had 20 or 30 customers minimum. But just remember in Google Ads how we set up a custom audience, visitors minus customers. This is where you would go in and create those audiences for Facebook. And then what they have is a lookalike audience feature. So this is something unique to Facebook. This is how you scale up your ad account. So what happens is, let's say you have 100 sales or 50 sales or X amount of sales on the site. You create a lookalike audience, and Facebook rather, will go out and they will find people who quote unquote look alike those customers. So maybe same demographic, same age range, same gender, same interests, things like this. They'll go after those people and they'll promote those products as there's a high likelihood that those individuals are similar to the ones who made the purchase on your store. So it needs a database of customers by which to make that audience. When you make a lookalike, you have the option of picking one which is 1% like your current audience, 2%, all the way up to 5% like your total audience. I recommend just, casting not so wide of a net, sticking with 1% lookalike, just to really get the maximum benefit. Later, if you want to scale, maybe try 2 or 3 or 4%. I found the best results just to come from a strict 1% lookalike audience. You can set this up. It's a big way to just get a nice boost in sales on Facebook once you have, let's say, 50 plus conversions on the store. So you can set these up, and that will conclude the Facebook ads training. A lot of the heavy lifting is done here in Symprosys when you connect this. Just doing these parts manually, the catalog, all the details involved with that, the pixel, all of that manually takes quite a while to set up all these things, which Symprosys does for you in like a second. So huge advantage there. And then when you go into Facebook, it's really just managing the creatives. offering a free shipping promo as far as on the ad itself, or whatever sort of logos or content you have. You want to just fill in every box, put maximum amount of descriptions, maximum amount of options, and then use the settings as I displayed them. That's all you want to do. Also add a payment method. It's a brand new account, so I haven't set it up yet. So make sure that once you have this set up, start running the Facebook ads. And this is primarily, remember, focused at retargeting. So we're just retargeting people who have came to our site on Facebook or Instagram. And this is the main feature of Facebook. You could run a pure shopping campaign here as well. I've just found because of the lack of, able to really, be granular and make little detailed nuanced modifications like you can on Google and Facebook, it's really hard to scale or, but it's worth a shot if you'd like to set up a new campaign just to run it and test it as you're growing your business. I'd see it as a new opportunity that maybe there is some potential in, maybe with a low CPC or something, give it a shot. But I haven't seen it be terribly great. What I have seen do very well is a retargeting campaign on Facebook. I've seen that be excellent with very high ROAS. So it's worth the investment here. Any questions, let me know. This will conclude the section on phase 4 when it comes to set up Google ads, Facebook ads, and Bing ads. We mentioned the 1% lookalike. So at this point, we're driving traffic, we're scaling our business. Now let's think about some future thoughts. So as we build up our business and as we scale up our ad accounts and as we grow and scale, as we gain more traffic to the store, there's going to be different things that come up. Okay, what are some of the things that come up? 1, customer service. Okay, I have an order. How do I, have an order? The customer is asking a question about a product. What do I do? Okay, I say, great question. I take the question from the customer. I go to the manufacturer. I ask that question. I bring it back. I deliver it back to the customer. So this can be via phone or via email, right? So when you have a business like this, you have to think about customer service. How am I organizing that? Am I available via phone? Is it going to voicemail? How am I interacting with people? Am I responding to email primarily? Am I available via text? All these different things are things you should think about as far as delivering high quality customer service and managing the orders which come in. Remember, as I mentioned, of the total people who visit your store, only a small percentage are going to reach out via email, via phone, via chat support, whatever you offer. But of those people that reach out, a huge chunk of them purchase. So they take action in your direction for your store. Really take advantage of servicing those people well. It will lead to higher conversions and referrals. Business runs on referrals. So always consider that every person is going to leave a review or have someone else they recommend. And a lot of these industries are niche specific, so sometimes they have communities in which they talk about businesses. So if you become really great at doing your job and running the business, then other people will grow rapidly. And then you have to think about customer service. How do I manage that? How am I organizing that? If I'm getting 20 emails a day, 30 emails a day, right? How are you ready to handle that sort of workload? Being on the phone, responding to emails, taking the orders, and then delivering to the manufacturer. So the next thing to think about is that order processing. So when I get an order from a customer, an order comes through on the site, I then want to go to the manufacturer and process that order. So I can capture so when the customer first places the order, it's authorized. The card is only authorized. Then I will double check the inventory, I'll double check the pricing, I'll make sure everything was correct, nothing's out of date. I contact the manufacturer, hey, I have an order for this product, shipping here. They'll give you a quote. Then depending on how you pay or how the shipping is detailed, hopefully it's included on their shipping account, then you would just pay them. Some manufacturers will only accept a wire. If you can pay by card, that's definitely the best route because of the business credit training workshop that I'll recommend later. So always go for card if possible. Then we'll process the order, the manufacturer takes the order, they ship directly to the customer, and you can ask them to blind ship, so they'll ship with no branding on the box. So this is the model, and this is how you process the orders. Now, if you have pre-orders or back orders, we talked about it briefly previously, but generally even capture the payment. So what I would do is confirm with the customer, hey, this is the order date for this item. They confirm via email, maybe you speak via phone, but always get it in writing. They confirm the date, capture the payment at that point, wait 1 or 2 days for it to deposit into your account, call the manufacturer and prepay the order. Therefore, you're guaranteed to have that order out way faster than if you wait till the item comes in stock, then try to process with the manufacturer. Some manufacturers, depending on the product, depending on the case, may not allow this. I always prefer, if possible, to prepay just to make sure there's no issues with accounting. And then if the customer wants to cancel the order for any reason, there's a real issue. There is a cancellation fee for them to do that. You've already made the deposit with the manufacturer. It's in writing. They confirm the pre-order date. If there are other issues, then I can work around that with comparable products. Sometimes upsell, downsell. Even the manufacturer, if they've already kind of bought into the idea of that product, they'll even oftentimes bend over their back, or do whatever they can in order to give you a good product that's comparable and get something shipped out for the customer to service them. So you're both on the same team to get the customer serviced, rather than kind of postponing it or waiting out. And this will really drive our results and increase our overall brand awareness. So definitely service the customer, make sure the orders get sent out on time. It's really critical to make sure you're managing that and the order processing and the pre-orders. Also, you have some little things here and there like social media. So as you're running your business, right now we set up the wireframe, for your site. Add social media posts. Post little things here and there once a week, 2 or 3 times a week. There's no set amount. If you're looking best case, I'd say once a day, but just something about your business. You can use Canva. There's lots of different apps you can use in order to make little things to add to your social media profiles, but do something to add some fresh content. This is another way to really grow the business and to make sure that you are on top of people's minds. But more importantly, when people go to a site, they go to their social media kind of naturally to see kind of what's going on, right? Behind the scenes, where's the gossip type thing, right? It's natural that we always look at their social media generally, or look for reviews, something like that, something with society, something with people, with community. So it's good to have some posts there. Even engagement or not engagement is fine, but just something that expands your brand awareness, whether showing your product catalog, talking about some of your promos, even a little tagged post with a we love our customers type post, thank you for shopping type thing, as a tagged post on your Facebook page will bring in more credibility and more value. So do something with your social media, add posts there, use Canva. You can make some really basic images. Also, you can have someone on your team do that work for you, which is what I'm going to start getting into now. So we've gone over a few of the roles: customer service, order processing, social media. We've identified some of the work as far as your ad account, scaling those up. We have on-page optimization, dialing in features, etc. So this is really the main components of the business. Also, I would add, this is something as far as scaling, adding products all the time. Some people will just stop adding products and stop adding manufacturers once they've gotten, a few wins. Continually add products and be continually adding manufacturers to your product catalog. So as the catalog increases, the ad also increases. That's how you build, because you're promoting more products, obviously. But when you're adding products to the store, it's a really cheap and easy way to build new revenue streams. So what will happen is you'll add, let's say, 30 products or 100 products or however many products, and you'll have a certain amount of winners. Let's say 4 or 5 or 3 or however many winners that really convert well. So what will happen is for every 100 products you add, a certain number of those will be winners, and those will naturally rise to the top. And then as you continually add more products, you're going to really focus on the winners. So really, in order to have more winners, you got to just add more volume. So I would be adding approximately, at minimum 20 to 30 products a week at minimum, preferably upwards of 80, 90 products a week, at least maybe a few hundred a month. That would be like 3 to 4 manufacturers a month. at minimum, and then scaling up from there. So you really just want to be continually adding manufacturers and keeping them on your Rolodex, and then calling out to them every so frequently, based on your own scheduling, but also just continually onboarding them and adding products consistently. So as you see, all these different things require time. And as you're scaling up, time becomes a function of something that's difficult to move beyond, because you're limited as far as responding to emails, dealing with customer service, doing order processing with manufacturers, adding a social media presence, adding products to the store, and then also managing and scaling the ad account. All these things can become challenging. What I would recommend is somewhere around the time when you're doing $15,000 a month or $20,000 a month in sales, to hire and outsource a virtual assistant. There's a lot of ways you can hire them. There's so many. A really easy one is onlinejobs.ph. This Filipino from abroad. The really big benefit is they can do and help you with some of this work that has to be done daily, as far as adding products, social media, even upwards once you have someone trained and they really understand the business, order processing, customer service, all that can be done through a VA, which frees you up to work on your business rather than inside of your business. Really important distinction. So I would, around the time where you're getting a little bit busy, like, okay, now I'm running ads, I manage my ad account, I have orders coming in, I have customer service to deal with, I have manufacturers to deal with, I'm starting to build up my presence here, my brand name, the phone is ringing. Now, what do I do? Because I have a little bit too many things to handle. Okay, let's bring on a virtual assistant. I wouldn't bring one on when you're really maxed out. Bring one on when you're about 40 to 80% filled up, somewhere that's available. So 40% full up to 80% full, somewhere in there, because when you hire someone brand new, for the first week or so, up to the first month, you have to train this person. So because of that, it can be a little bit more challenging. What I recommend is using your resources like loom.com to make recordings to send to them, and to show them kind of the basic functions. What I do with every virtual assistant that I hire is I always start with having them do the most basic function, which is adding products. This is the easiest way for a new person to get used to the process of working on a store like this. It explains to them a lot about the model. They get used to working in Shopify. They get to understand a little bit about the back end. They see the importance of the products, the relationship with the manufacturers. And then I expand there from manufacturers, and then I'll expand there out to customer service if I have one person who I'm training. And then I mentioned order manufacturing before that. So that is also, lastly, what I'll do as I have big goals. So when I hire a virtual assistant, I'll hire them as a general manager with the expectation that eventually I'm going to have a bigger team, and there's going to be one virtual assistant who's going to manage the rest of the team. So I'm hiring them currently to help me with the basic functions of the store. And you could hire them on you could also do hiring somebody to do just this one job. You could say, hey, I need help just adding 70 products. I'll pay you 10 cents a product or $1 a product. And, whatever is, probably maybe 30 cents a product, something like that, depending on how many you have. And then that could be that's how I started with somebody on a contract basis. And then you can hire them full time. So the typical full-time rate, if you're looking to bring someone out from the Philippines, your standard middle-of-the-road rate is $3 an hour. If you're going to hire somebody a pretty decent rate, you're going to be a little more generous, kind of above the market. You're looking at $5 an hour. $6 an hour is exorbitant. Anything beyond that is really just it's riches. I mean, I think, for example, an airplane pilot in the Philippines receives somewhere between $20,000 to $30,000 a year is the average salary. A lot of these people have bachelor's degrees. They're quite intelligent. They understand. They're able to learn, and they like to be employed. And it is reverse time zone for them, so they're typically working abroad. Whenever I hire someone as well, I always want someone who has a good internet connection. They're going to show up every day on time. And then this is kind of how I organize my team. It would be a whole training on just how to organize the team structure. A lot of companies do it slightly differently. I have a structure which is in place some of the highlights I mentioned here. But if you want to get deeper into that, that would be an opportunity for private consulting as far as organizing the team structure and getting that kind of capped out in the way that's perfect. Right now, these are some of the highlights as far as hiring a VA, having them be the general manager, and then having them oversee the team, which would handle maybe another person to add products if you're really scaling, another person to handle social media, maybe order processing, and even customer service once you really get to a certain level and the team is trained to a certain point. I think I probably had my team for about a year, which is quite long actually, before I had them handle customer service and so forth. But at this point, I'm able to really have the business grow without having to be inside of it, handling the day-to-day operations all the time. So this is the next steps as far as the business itself. As of this point, you will start generating traffic once your ads are set up. You will start generating conversions after you followed the conversion training in the beginning. And you will start having customers in the door. So now it's all about how do you handle those customers in a way that wants them to refer you out to other people, how do you manage your ad account, and eventually expand your team, and also share your results with others. So when you're at this point and you're driving conversions and you're doing well, keep in touch. I want to hear your testimonials. I want to hear your case studies. I want to hear how far that you've come from having no idea what to sell to now having a fully functional business that's driving traffic and driving revenue for yourself and for your future. It's been an absolute pleasure going through all these processes with you, all these phases, step by step, to the point where you're at the very end of the process and you have everything set up that you need in order to drive sales for your business. Welcome to a new beginning for yourself, that you're actually having a business which is driving sales, which is making conversions, and actually helping people get products which they were not able to get at that deal at other stores. I'm really, really excited to work together moving into the future. As far as case studies and testimonials, please share those. I'm really excited to hear about your results. And if you have any questions or thoughts after you've completed the entire course and you need to have additional training, what I'd highly recommend is to comprise a list of maybe 30 to 40 or at least a handful at minimum questions and book one of your 3 consult calls with me directly. And because of that, I'll be able to go through the list and really take full advantage of our time together. Thank you again, and it's been an absolute pleasure working together, and I'll see you on the other side.